Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV was Wumi.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yomi Fabiyi live on Instagram. This program is being brought to you by the consciousness and conscience of good Nigerians at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I tweeted and I posted earlier concerning justice for Mohbad, concerning the ongoing investigation into the cause of his death, and I saw the need to air my view as an adult and a member of a voting public, as a citizen of Nigeria, knowing fully well that cases of murder, it's not about the family, about friends of a victim, about any other vested interest. It is a case of this government and the society. Murder is not a case or a situation or an event or a scenario that you will be told it is none of your business, because anybody can be murdered anywhere. You can be murdered, anybody can be murdered in the school, workplace, at home, on the road, in the car, while traveling. And that is why it is a case that is very, very, very sensitive. It concerns everybody, including visitors to Nigeria, because visitors to Nigeria can be killed. And we must not present Nigeria as a society that killing people are always treated with kid's glove. And then when it comes to the case of homicide is always deaths that occur within the house. And because of the sensitivity of that kind and complexity of that kind of death, it is always necessary to understand that when police are to investigate or are investigating, they always initiate what is called pre-arrest in the course of investigation. So whether you are the father, whether you are the mother, whether you are the friend, whether you are the son, when the police get an inkling that somebody had been killed within the house, the police are duty bound to quickly investigate. And that is why it is very important, if anybody should die within the house, the first thing that anybody should do is to report immediately to the police. If you cover up somebody's death within the house, or one day, 2 days before you inform the police, you are running a risk of being charged with murder. You are running a risk of being charged with even to be a prime suspect. So it is natural for all of us to understand that when anybody dies within the house, immediately do not join them in the cover up. If you know you are within the house, you are within the proximity, the person died, the best you can do is please report immediately to the police. Let them report to the police so the police can come, look at the person who is on the floor, who is dead, look at the reason or the likely cause of death, and then bring everybody in for questioning. It is called pre-arrest. And in the case of Mohbad, because only the truth can set the people free, only the truth can set the youth free, the police, the investigators, the first thing they need to do is to arrest everybody around Mohbad. The reason is because if he died in his sleep, the person that slept beside him should be able to give account of how it happened or what he or she knows. If he died 2-3 hours before anybody gets to know, the driver or the cook or whoever is within the house should be able to give an account So it is when they are being brought in into the police station, it is called pre-arrest. That would have helped to actually curtail any form of cover-up. Now we should be asking ourselves, is this not a shameful thing that at the end of the day, this is tilting towards homicide, and the first person that should have been taken in should have been arrested, the first suspect? When they say arrest, don't get it wrong, because a lot of people are ignorant or are trying to pass wrong information on social media. When you call for an arrest, an investigation, it is different to call for arrest and charging. It is when they know what killed him, after they investigated, then they can charge. So when they say arrest and investigate, is because there is an information flying around saying this person is responsible. So when you look at what the police have done, they are the ones giving the room for this, because if the wife, the staff, the brother, everybody have been taken in immediately, that is, if they reported Mohbad's demise, few hours he died or few hours he was, but if it was a case of police got there and they realized that this person has been dead since yesterday and you are just reporting to the police, then that means you guys covered up something. You tampered with the crime scene. You have tampered with enough evidence before you inform the police, so that we will not be able to find something to nip or to nail either of you. That is why immediately police get to see that, they will know that virtually everybody within the vicinity of the man are prime suspects. Anybody within him, within 48 hours, and when they ask what role did you play, where were you, they know that either of them or all of them collectively committed the crime. So the rule of law is sacrosanct. It's shameful that the police in my country at this stage, we are now beginning to hear information that clearly shows that if the police had acted quickly, without being sentimental, and they were looking to other places, if the police had done the right thing immediately by arresting every reasonable person, it's called pre-arrest. Every reasonable person that should be brought in for questioning, there won't have been room for all this. So it's quite sad. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know Mohbad 101. I don't know I don't know Prime Boy. I don't know Spending. I don't know Wumi. I don't know anybody. But when it comes to case of murder, it is your case. It concerns you. It is everybody's case. It is not a case of they will kill your son and you go to court and charge somebody to court. No, the state must take over the case. The police must take over. It's the government versus whoever is involved. So murder case is different. And when it comes to homicide, when allegations are now flying, when it comes to case of homicide, police are duty bound to say, if you know anything, or if there is anybody that know anything, please inform the police or come to the police and report. There will be witness protection. So there is no way we're two ways about it. And don't forget, Nigerians, from my own personal investigation, I don't know who brought the idea of coroner inquest. Because police are meant to be investigating. When police investigate, and they must naturally, don't be deceived. If police have brought all these people in, and they investigated, not just questioning them, by going back to the crime scene, they will have to cordon the crime scene and ensure that the crime scene has not been tampered with. There will be all of this. They will know who killed Mohbad if he died not from natural cause, if he was killed within the house. So if the crime scene has been tampered with, and then it took them time before they report the death, Toba Gekpe, he slept while he was within the house. Oyoshubu, and he died. And there is a wife with him. There is a brother with him. Of course, you'll be able to know within 2 hours, to Barokwe, within the house, that where are you? And then you'll be able to know, okay, this is why, and this is what happened. And if they are certain and they look at the entire body and they look at everything, like, where are blood stains, where are this, where are that? Then it's going to be very, very clear and simple. So I don't know, I don't know what people are not getting, because I'm still to get deep into the whole case. You know, I need my emotions to really come up before I attack quickly. Don't get it twisted. Do not mistake call for arrest and investigation to call to arrest and charge. I cannot determine who should be charged or who should not be charged. But of course, I have every right to call the police, and the only way this can go, from all indications from what this woman, Wumi, well, with all she has given out as serious additional information, trust me, the Justice for Mohbad team and every NGO that are supporting them, if there is any, they should compile those evidences and write a petition based on that to the police. Because police will tell you nobody has come to complain and they've not seen all those things. So, if anybody has any useful information, or anybody came forward with useful information, it's quite sad that at the end of the day, look at what Karimo is bringing out. A phone is missing. Look at what they are saying. The railings in the house were destroyed out of fighting, domestic violence. Look at all those tangible information. There is no way the police will get to that kind of information, whether by formal notice or what is flying on social media, and they will not, and they are not made to make arrest and demand that, come and tell us, is there any other phone? Bearing in mind that any tough information, police will ensure they contact the person, and if the person is able to give the police accurate information where the phone is, how it was hidden, police are duty bound to go arrest whoever taking phone in your way, because it's an active investigation. Whoever killed Mohbad is still out there. Timo. So whoever it is, when the police have enough evidence to themselves, and they invited Wumi and like, is it true that there is a phone with you? If she says no, police will keep whatever they have as evidence. Is it true that there was a fighting, and what happened to the railings of the house? And if you can bring evidence that a day before Mohbad died, all the railings were there, if somebody can come up with, maybe there's a video they posted, police are meant to go into the social media. Was there a video posted a day before the fight? 2 days before the fight? Those railings that Karimo mentioned, is there a likelihood in any of the video Karimo Wambe? And then they will ask the woman that is in the house, now after your husband died, the railings are no longer there. Fine, we made a mistake, we didn't invite you or bring you in for questioning. Now there is a lead, a very vital information. And then they were able to even take us to images a day before the Mohbad died. The railings were still there. What removed the railings? Because when we came to that house, truly, 3rd day after Mohbad died, the railings were not there. Then you explain, railings. Then the police will know that this is a very vital information, and then they will take the necessary step. The reason is because when we say justice for Mohbad, Ati Karimo, Ati Wumi, Ati Prime Boy, Ati everybody, we all wanted justice for Mohbad. So I don't know where and how anybody would beat her. Suspect where I have any reason to be part of or to get close to. Then this justice or the investigation can navigate towards my side. So all these things are what we want, because the international community, they are looking. Everybody wanted justice. He hasn't got justice. They've demonized the man. They've even changed the whole narrative. They've said so many things. So what I will advise, justice for Mohbad. Compile the video of Karimo, burn it into a disc as a matter of urgency. Write a petition to the Commissioner of Police. Attach those CDs, all those vital information. Send it as quickly as possible tomorrow morning. If you inform all of us that you have done that, we are going to do that from my own side here. But if the entire justice for Mohbad can come together tonight, and then you are able to do that, trust me, if the police fail to act within 48 hours, then we will know the police have compromised, then we are in for a big thing. It is not the government that started the corona inquest. So there is no way you will blame Lagos State government. Leave Lagos State government out of this. This is not a state-murdered situation. So leave Lagos State government out of it. But you can compel them where they are not doing the right thing. Because whether we like it or not, the government, they want what? They want support from the public. Give us support. Where you think we should do things, please do it. And that is the best thing. So if Baba Mohbad, the justice for Mohbad, if you compile those overwhelming allegations by Karimo, anybody no sorrow to say, which it's a different angle to what the police have not seen before. It's still an investigation. The investigation is still ongoing. So every information is vital. So the moment you are able to compile and compress those videos in a CD and you submit, if after 48 hours the police did not act, then there is going to be war. Baba Mohbad, you have every right to stand and accuse that you have been deceived. Police must act and act fast, because whether we like it or not, those information, whether they are true or not, when they arrest or invite Wumi that is being accused, when they invite, it doesn't mean she has committed a crime. It does not mean she is guilty. But those information, it's only a criminal, only an uninformed person will assume that when a case is, investigation is ongoing, and that kind of information, filtered or came out unexpectedly, that the police should just ignore it and say, no, it's irrelevant. When in the first place, anyone accused was not originally arrested and investigated properly according to the law. So it is quite important that when anybody can be accused, a lot of petitions are written with or without evidence. The police are duty bound to investigate. Like I said, arrest is not guilty verdict. Arrest does not mean you have done wrong. But if the police do not arrest or invite for questioning, that means they are not investigating in that angle. And it is our duty to let the police know that how can you be treating case of homicide and you are not investigating to this angle? You cannot investigate somebody that is one of his suspects by just waving at the person or waiting for the person to talk. It is not professional. That means something is going on. Then there is a cover-up going on. I don't know how true it is. I don't know who brought the idea or who went to the legal chamber to ask them to initiate coroner inquest. To me, if you ask me whether the coroner inquest will continue, the police should act now and do their job. It has nothing to do with the coroner inquest. The police should, if police have reasons to investigate and know what killed Mohbad in isolation of the coroner inquest, they are bound under the law to continue their investigation. All these things are what we should know, and we should do the right thing. We should do the right thing now. We cannot fold our arms and keep quiet. And that is why Break the Silence Foundation, we are already, we have been in the case from beginning. There was no time I was silent about justice for Mohbad. I was just taking my time to see that the whole process is followed. I don't know who killed Mohbad. Nobody knew who killed Mohbad. At the initial stage, there was nowhere anybody would ever think about what Karimo was saying now. Afitoba, you are not raised with an honest background. Nobody ever thought about what she's saying now. She came for me at a point. I was shown. I was like, what have I said that is wrong? I've said my own bit. I've said my own truth. I'll say my truth. It's the truth that I have to be told. So it's a society we find ourselves. And that is why I'm going to appeal to the police. I'm going to appeal to the state government. This Mohbad's case is very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. A lot of people are demanding for the justice because you will ask that no justice should be served on Mohbad's case because you think your children are immune to being killed irrationally. Beat your chest that Mohbad does not deserve justice, and let me see how your children will survive and become a better person in this country. Any sane person will understand the nitty-gritty that proper investigation must be done. So, Karimo has not committed any crime if she's coming out to talk now. The fact remains that the investigation is still ongoing, and then she spoke to her conscience. I cannot continue. You don't be surprised if any other person, total monk or me, within the circle, will still come out and speak the truth. Because if there is anything anybody have been threatening, is it that people are threatening or they don't just want to speak the truth? And the police should understand that they need to do the right thing. Don't ruin this country. If the police have done the right thing by bringing in every reasonable person that logically should be brought in a case of homicide from inception, maybe all these things that we are hearing, police would have investigated and the investigation would have traversed towards that side. How would the police feel if truly there is a phone that is being taken away, and if they should contact Karimo, she will tell them who is holding the phone, how the phone was taken, where the phone is. But how can the police say it's irrelevant? Which police system will get to hear that kind of information and will say it's irrelevant? The only reason police will pretend they cannot act now is if a reasonable person, the family, or non-governmental organization that is standing by the family to get justice did not do the right thing by compiling those overwhelming evidences and information and share with the police. Police might say, you are only saying it, we didn't see any of these things you're saying. You didn't send it to us. There is no way you will submit those evidences that actions will not be taken. Because if you wait till the next coroner inquest, they shifted the one for the 24th to 11th of September. To 11th of September. And what they will do at the coroner inquest is they will be asking questions. That is why, while they are investigating, they said Aburo Mohbad want to talk at a point. They said he cannot talk. Somebody went to run after him. Under police investigation, all that may not be able to happen. All that may not be able to happen. So the police should be allowed to return fully to the investigation. They should come back to it. This is a new dimension and angle to that investigation. If they fail to act, we should all conclude, all the justice from about that, there is likelihood that we will never get justice. That is the truth, Tabego. That will be the truth, that there is likely. So what is going on at the coroner inquest should not in any way affect the police acting now, because the police are the primary investigator of this homicide case. They're the primary investigator. But the Nigerian factor is we cannot do any arrest now. You know, there is coroner inquest. Don't sell that to us. Don't sell that to us. So if somebody in Wumi's circle, not just a staff, not a neighbor, the blood sister, could give an insight, and before Karimo actually spoke out, millions of Nigerians know that as we speak, it is looking likely that Mohbad's death came from within that house. Nobody even knew anything about phone. Police don't know whether there is another phone hidden. Police don't know whether, I don't know whether there is a railing in Mohbad's house or not. So if that information filters out, a reasonable investigator will go to the house and check if there were actually railings or not. So what we should do as a matter of urgency, if you can help them, the legal team, the justice for Mohbad, you need to do that, because if you don't take that step, all of us will look stupid at the end of the day. There is nothing much the coroner will do. Is when you get to a stage like that, when it's court, what they will tell you is bring evidence. The police that are supposed to investigate and drag out evidence, if you don't make them work, they will not do anything. They will not do anything. I am telling you the honest truth. If anybody would want to hear the truth today, if you rely on the coroner inquest at Karimo live video court, the conclusion will be we need you to prove this beyond reasonable doubt. But the only institution that is allowed under the law to investigate the allegation Karimo brought up are the police. And there is no way they will investigate without arresting Wumi. Arresting Wumi is not that she is guilty, but that is the only way they can move close to knowing whether that allegation is true. If it was a false information, she might still pay. Karimo might still pay. But how can they make this kind of allegation? If you take this allegation, I will say my own truth. You can rely and sit and wait for coroner inquest. Coroner inquest that was not initiated by Lagos State government. They wrote to Lagos State government, Ministry of Justice. Somebody wrote to them. So if truly you don't want to deceive yourself in silence, Emi, diplomacy pẹ̀lú irọ́ ni ò ní talent yẹ. Àfi tí màá fẹ́ dá síra, ẹbí ò mọ̀ ṣe. I don't know how to do it. I have lived well enough. Ayé tí mo pé mo wà nù ayé, mo ti bí. Ìwọ̀nba tí ẹ̀ fẹ́ lò tó kù tí ẹ̀ máa lò. You do it and ensure that you contribute the right thing to the progress of your country. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lè máa fi máa bú olóṣèlú. There is no way killing people irrationally within the house can stop. If all of us are not united to say that when it comes to cases like this, let the truth be told. Let the truth come out. Because if you think because it's social media, because of the nonsense empathy and nonsense emotion, and you support this, what happen if tomorrow they kill you? Are you the one to? It's it is the duty of the people behind to ensure that they fight for the person, so that another person will not be killed irrationally, including your son, including your brother. So whether we like it or not, those vital information, the police must be able to come back, because if the justice for Mohbad will not come together, and if you don't do it by sending this petition, this additional information, and say, police, we add so and so. Of course, you will rely on intelligent report. You have to rely on information. If you know something, say something. Somebody is claiming to know something now, and this is the person coming out with a bold face. She has a name. It is not even a matter of we are trying to protect the source. We don't want to. This witness or this person making this categorical confession is even very close to the person. Now that this information are there, all you need to do is go to that house and then re-invite all those people involved in this case. Because all of them should know that if the investigation with this new information turns out to be true, they might likely go down. Promise one Calvary that evidence, they might not be able to help them. There is no sense in aiding and abetting murder, knowing fully well that the consequence Ọlọ́run lè fún ẹ ní ẹ̀mí gígùn, but I make sure gbogbo ọmọ tó bá bí ìjọ tó bá fẹ́ ṣoríire wọ́n ti máa dàgbà wọ́n débi Ọlọ́run máa pa wọ́n lẹ́yìn kọ́kọ́. You thought you were ṣé fear ẹ̀rù ń bà ẹ́ ni? That fear tó ń bà ẹ́ lẹ́rù yẹn wàá rí ohun tó ń pè ní ìyà àti ìdààmú. When I preserve your life and I will ensure that every child you have tó bá ti daytime tó fẹ́ cross yẹn, and I will be taking them, then you feel the pain. Feel the pain and Baba Anthony Mohbad. Then I want to have them here. They should come and serve, come and help you now. We're not saying we don't know who killed him. I didn't ask her to stop. None of the justice for Mohbad asked Karimo to speak. None of the justice for Mohbad, not even the father of Mohbad, asked Karimo to speak or say what she's saying. So if you are that low and you cannot consider the fact that whether it is true or not, if it is physical, if you are that intelligent, won't you go back and check the railings and say, Oshosha, yes, the railings were there a day before. Are you sure? If it gets to the place and find out that there was evidence that the railings were even there a day before, because social media, that why you do a lot of videos you don't know. There is no way those that killed Mohbad will not leave one or two traces. They cannot cover all the tracks. They can never. Go and I can beat my chest. Except the police do not want to work. No matter how many people were covering the lies, except the police do not, there is no way you commit a natural murder that you will cover all your tracks. There is no way. So don't be deceived. It's quite shameful that after the police had already made us look like they've done their best, they've done everything. Meanwhile, part of their best should have included taking into custody Wumi and every other person with it. So the missing link was that they were soft on Wumi. And it's shameful that at the end of the day, LB Wumi, a family close to Wumi, is the one coming out to tell us that now a phone has been taken which consists of major evidences. The railings of the house are evidences of physical and domestic violence. What are we talking about? Corona. if it is true that coroner inquest was initiated from the camp of Wumi, what are we talking about? We must stand and ensure that those in charge of those heading the coroner inquest, the judge, all of them, they follow the law. We will look into details, every action, step they are taking. Lẹ́yìn ikú sáré. Lẹ́yìn ikú sáré. It is your right to stand and ensure that the right things are done in this kind of case as a citizen of this country. It's not something you'll be scared of. So we should engage the police. The police are there to do this. The police they will never tell you that the police are not interested in anybody killing another person. They are not interested. They don't want anybody to be killed. So for you to think police will want to cover, the only thing you can blame police for is negligence, or there was an oversight, or there is compromise maybe within the police rank. One or two persons, they are trying to like, or they just go sentimental, and we can't really blame the police fully too, because at the initial stage of the Mohbad's announcement of Mohbad's death, all eyes were on the wrong set of people. Whether wrong or right, all eyes were on another set of people. So it is natural, the normal Oju Anu, to not think of doing the right thing by saying, Madam, you are with your husband 24 hours before he died, and with the look of things, this man died. If he died 2 hours before you tell the police, as the wife, and you are in the same house with him, you should be able to know quickly what killed him. There is no way. If somebody came into the house and killed him, or he died then you should be able to know. Do you understand? So it's something that if somebody dies and reports were made quickly, police will look at who and who were there, who probably have entered into the house, and all of things like that. Do you understand? So it's sacrosanct. It's quite important. So we're going to be appealing to the entire Justice for Mohbad team. Compress and burn all the videos of Karimo. That is the way to go. If you really want the police to act fully, we can only call for the arrest of Wumi. If police want to act, they can say, okay, from that, what we saw on social media, that's the vital information. They might have contacted Karimo, and if Karimo should supply them additional information that looks like there is likelihood that it is true, or there is need for them to now go deep, they would hold whatever evidence she has given to them, and then they will swing. But we are all human beings. This is somebody in their camp. This is the blood sister. And if she could come out and talk, is it that the spirit of Mohbad is pushing and asking for justice? And this is the signs that because of Inyokon, it could lead to something catastrophic. If the justice system, if the government and those in power do not do the needful, you would think Kini, Mohbad, and the body and the spirit is insisting, is giving signs. When things like that are happening, it's probably God is passing a message that do the right thing. Do the right thing gradually. And those in authority will like, what do we do? If you need to do it. Because if they don't, that somebody like Karimo could come out and talk. It's not a child's play. Karimo has not committed any crime by coming to speak the truth or speak her own truth. She has not done anything wrong. That I'm your family does not mean I can bottle up anything you have done wrong for a long time. I'm not able to support murder. So we need to understand that it is something that has to do with the soul of this country. Murder is not kid's glove. o fẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ ẹ lọ school kó dé padà wá bọ́ ẹ láyọ̀. You want your children to go to work and then they go in peace and come back in peace. You don't want a situation where anybody can just wish I can kill my child or kill your child, and then everybody, Mama Tewo, it's over a month now. It's over here. Just allow it. Justice, when well served, even if it won't recover who had been killed, it will forestall and repeat. When we do our movies, we take our time to mirror the society and ensure that our stories educate and caution people from committing crime, and that has in turn helped the society, the government, even the police, so that crimes will not be on the large scale. So when I speak like this, I'm not speaking because I'm Mohbad, Wumi. And as a matter of fact, all of them have even been my enemy, or they might not even be my fan. That is not the point here. I am a human rights consultant and ambassador, and I'm speaking because I am promoting the frontiers of human rights. Mohbad has got right to life. If it is certain he was killed, then it is imperative for the government that we all voted for, and we voted for few people to be in charge of our commonwealth. It is not because they are better human beings. It is not because they are superhuman. It is not because they cannot be challenged. It is not because we don't have right to ask them to use our resources and that position to do the right thing in society. It is not. It is because it is our duty to support the government and the police in cases like this, so that even when they kill a government official, when they kill a police officer, justice is served. So naturally, in this case of murder, in this case of homicide, in this case of that is obvious to all of us that this is likely a case of murder. Whether it is a case of genuine or a false information, the police are duty bound to investigate, and there is no way they will investigate. There will not be a pre-arrest. So it is very important. And don't come around and think, because it's not about gender. Everybody should ask ourselves, how did it turn around to be that women, everybody wants to she likely to be responsible? Everybody has got right to also clean and absorb themselves. Don't forget that in the course of fighting for this Mohbad, you have cancelled somebody's career. And if in your conscience and honesty, including those in the camp of who they are now accusing now, and what if you wo any take cancel career, any tenitama mumba and kokpa. Now think about it. How will that person be feeling? That what if I was around? What if my children and wife did not? What if I did not run? What if they have killed me, thinking I was the one that killed Mohbad? So if you look at the whole scenario going around the case, if new information are coming out, why should any reasonable person think it is out of place for us to ask that the police should act? Where was the evidence that you all saw when you demanded that Samilari Naramali should be arrested for the death of Mohbad? Were they not investigated? Were they not arrested? Why should any other person should be bigger in this case? These terrible people asking that now that an allegation was brought up, where was the evidence that all of us had that showed that Samilari killed Mohbad before he was arrested and investigated? Where was the evidence that we all had before Naramali was asked to return from abroad? And it's OTS, I want to say, Where were the evidences? But police are duty bound to investigate. And in the course of investigation, they will bring you in for questioning. And then, the little things where people were able to throw out and the few information police are, and when they realize that, okay, stay there. We are treating case of murder now. From allegations we've received. You cannot tell the police not to invite you. If it is a case of murder. Things are meant to be done the right way. So certainly we should ask our conscience, do we really want to get better as people? Can we continue like this and expect that all our courses on politicians will be effective? Will it work? Unlike Europe, you all love to sit and be raised with lies. And if look at this person, I don't want to use negative word. He said there were videos of bullying. We're talking about murder. They don't even, you have to know the difference. Do you know why the police are yet to even charge Samilari and the rest based on bullying? Because they are still investigating case of murder.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe,
Face TV was Swoby.